And under the guise of making things cleaner, they're simply controlling your life. That's not America. That's not Americans. We believe the opposite. The founders knew exactly that the opposite was true, that decisions are best made by individuals and communities at the local level. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, we believe that government is the servant of the people and that people aren't the servants of government. Right now, we in the House are fighting to hold the executive branch accountable for a possible cover-up in Benghazi. This is not only about lives being lost, but about trust being breached. The Obama administration lied about the cause, Islamic terrorism. Then they tried to cover their tracks. And now they claim that those of us who are demanding the truth are the ones who are politicizing the situation. The executive branch owes the people the truth. It's basic accountability. They are our servants. We are not theirs. We also believe in the right of a free press. Unfortunately, right now, we have a Department of Justice that tries to spy on and intimidate members of the press. We find out in recent days that through subpoenas, which is a government action, individual reporters' names, their cell phones, and their phone records have been compromised, have been taken by the federal government. It's my opinion that this administration is simply afraid of being held accountable, whether it's by a free press or by this Congress. Now, the founders knew that both the free press and Congress with oversight are necessary to prevent tyranny. And that's why our job is so important today. That's why Americans are expecting and counting on us to take the Benghazi investigation, to take the AP, as it's called, the Associated Press investigation, as far as it goes until we find out what the truth is. Perhaps our fundamental right is the one of free speech. It's the one that is absolutely necessary in a free society. It's the one that is core and fundamental in our Bill of Rights. But today, Mr. Speaker, we have an IRS that is targeting groups of private citizens simply because of their political beliefs, violating their right of free speech and violating their right of free association. This is nothing more than an abuse of power. It violates the Constitution's guarantee of equal protection under the law and should frighten each one of us regardless of political party. And I guarantee you this, Mr. Speaker, this American, along with many others in this Congress, are going to go as far as we need to go with this investigation in order to find the full truth. The government must remain a servant of the people and not the other way around. Mr. Speaker, we believe in giving a hand up, not necessarily a handout, because we believe that hand up is what made America strong, while a handout is what basically caused other nations in history to fail, resulting ultimately in tyranny. A government can't be all things to all people. It can't do everything for everybody. It's been tried before. This is not a new idea, Mr. Speaker, but every time it's been tried in our history, it's resulted in terrible tyranny or ultimate failure altogether. Let me give you an example, Mr. Speaker. Approximately 48 million Americans are on food stamps, more than at any other point in our history. Now, I know we've been going through some tough times, but that's not because too few people are getting food stamps. The government is handing out free cell phones, but welfare programs are supposed to be for the poorest of the poor, for those who need that hand up. We shouldn't be giving handouts. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we are. Just look at the facts. Under the Census Bureau's definition of poor, quote unquote, 80% of poor households have air conditioning. In 1970, only 36% of the entire U.S. population enjoyed air conditioning. 92% of poor households have a microwave. Nearly 3/4 have a car or truck, and 31% have 2 or more cars or trucks. Nearly 2/3 have cable or satellite TV. 2/3 have at least one DVD player, and 70% have a VCR. These are all poor households. These are mostly households that would qualify also for food stamps and for other welfare programs. Half of them have a personal computer, and 1 in 7 have 2 or more computers. 43% have internet access. 1/3 have a widescreen plasma or LCD TV. Now, Mr. Speaker, we are a giving nation. We want to help out. Our volunteerism and our charity work is second to none in this entire world. It's actually part of our American exceptionalism. It's what makes us unique and different from many other places on this earth. But I'd like to know the American who thinks that, given everything I just listed, that they think that that fits their definition of poor, and that's who we should be helping, and not others who really, really need, again, that temporary hand up and not the permanent hand out. Mr. Speaker, we believe in the freedom of individuals to make their own choices and also the responsibility to live with the choices that they make. And perhaps more than anything else I've said here tonight, we are losing sight of that in this Congress, in this federal government. The free enterprise system is a beautiful system. It's a wonderful system that rewards risks and rewards those who do useful work. Is it a perfect system? Absolutely not. Is it the best system ever devised by man to raise the condition of all men? Absolutely. Nothing in history has ever compared to it, and no experimentation that we're going to do now, and mind you, they're not new experiments, these experiments have been tried, is going to make it any better. The free enterprise system absolutely works. We believe that each generation should leave the next generation better off, to enjoy life, to enjoy liberty, to enjoy the pursuit of happiness. And unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, everyone knows on the floor of this House and elsewhere day by day that we are not leaving the next generation better off, that we are going to be the first generation in the history of this great nation, based on the facts, based on our budget, based on our debt, based on our standard of living, that will not leave the next generation better off if we don't start living within our means again, if we don't start printing and borrowing the money that we're doing to fund this beast called the federal government. The book of Proverbs commends hard work and enjoying the fruits of one's labor. With the money we earn, we provide for our families. We can bless other people who are in need. Proverbs says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. I can't think of a higher source to make the point. We are breaking the promise to the next generation. The good news is, Mr. Speaker, that, again, these are our core values. They're not Republican core values necessarily. They're not Democrat ones. They're American ones. You might find things that sound like them in the Democratic Party platform. I know we practice them in the Republican Party platform, but again, they're not ours. They're America's. Everything I've said here tonight is defined explicitly in the Constitution, that great founding document that is